Rolling.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, we have something special for you this evening. The origin story of Sweet Tea and Saif on the Catch the Sky podcast. We're continuing with our 3-part series. Tonight is episode 2, the actual podcast, the first recording, how it happened, how it went down. So exciting. I know you're on the edge of your seats, as is T. T, give me something.
Yeah, we're going to reflect on some of those early episodes and what a shit show it was, but it was raw, it was real, and it's been real ever since. That's one thing that we're never going to change on this show. We're going to give it to you raw, baby.
What the hell are we even doing?
We're having a good time. And I don't think people realize what a shit show it's been. But unlike the Titanic, as we mentioned in the last episode, this ship's still sailing. We're still fucking sailing.
We are definitely on a boat. That is for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So in part 1, as you said, we got into how we met. And in part 2,
where was that? How we met. Okay, we covered that. Now we're getting to the podcast. This is part 2. So this is the second segment, if you will. So the first segment, how we met, is in the books. This is so our podcast begins in August of 2018.
After you've settled
in.
Chessboard.
There's a chessboard. There's a duck. Some type of duck.
There's a bunch of little rubber ducks.
Yes.
Each one from a separate drunk duck drink at Permane Brothers.
Another small business shout out.
Yes. And the chessboard has hand-carved pieces. I'm trying to think what else was in that room. Not much. But
you had microphones.
We had the microphone set up and we were ready to roll. We spit some magic that night. It's Permane Brothers.
With a P or an F?
P.
Bromance, yeah. All right.
There you go. Well, you were saying it like Bromance.
Peach Street. Bromance? Man, my Italians, I speak Arabic. I don't speak. Oh, Jesus.
It's from Pittsburgh, though. They originated in Pittsburgh.
So I should also share that the Boulder shooting just recently happened, and the shooter's name's a Middle Eastern name, and I was just cringing. I was like, damn it. Because now we're going to have to deal with the whole terrorism thing, because when white people storm the Capitol and sedition occurs, we don't call it terrorism. Call it sedition. So the difference, obviously, between white terrorism and alternative terrorism.
Right. So
guy killed eight Koreans the week before. Not terrorism. Murder, he's having a bad day. But just the narrative, T, it's all about the narrative. And we're trying to construct our narrative. So, sorry for the segue. Please continue.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about that first episode, the demo episode. You might be able to go on to any one of these listening platforms or Facebook or YouTube and listen to it now and actually hear something that sounds like a raw recording of us back in the day. But Jesus Christ, do you remember when I initially uploaded that thing? It was
take 2 years.
Oh my God. Remember, I deleted my portion of the audio. It was an editorial disaster. It was a complete shit show. The only reason that it sounds even close to listenable now is because I went through and individually amplified all my responses off of your recording.
Wow. Yeah, because you can hardly hear you.
Right? That's because I'm in the background on your microphone. Absolute trash. Fucking travesty. But
you wanted to do a podcast in 2018.
yeah.
Why?
Oh, baby, look at where we're at, man. For all these reasons and more. Help spread the word, the good word. We're not just sitting up here talking about trash rockets 24/7. I feel like that's what a lot of these assholes are out here doing. It's just mindless entertainment. We're only like 25 to 50% mindless entertainment. There are some nuggets of information that are worth tuning in for on the Catch the Sky podcast. That's for sure. Otherwise, why the fuck are you listening to us?
It's all for the love. Like, again, for the people who, throw me a text message or, just, I love y'all. I do. I appreciate it. Thank you. This is my muse. Like, this is part of our oral history, right? And so when you study history, when you get into the origins of these things, and the demo episode we try to get in, because I suffer from imposter syndrome, but I'm a communication theorist at heart. And what we're doing here is important, because years from now, they're going to try to tell you that this was the narrative. And I need you to understand that when you have proper context and proper information, the narrative is much more informative. And we need to get better at doing our research, doing our homework, getting to the bottom of things, and cutting through the bullshit. I'm tired of the bullshit policy. Let's get into the meat and bones. These people are literally trying to take away your right to vote, trying to make it more inconvenient for you to vote. That is what is happening right now in America. Voter suppression has been alive and well since the blacks got the right to vote.
They don't want you to recycle your glass. They just want the garbage to pile up everywhere. And they don't want you to shoot it into the sun. Now, Saif, I don't mean to go off on too much of a tangent, but there was some research done into the trash rocket tonight. And we are not the only people who've had this idea. There's other shirts that I have seen online already. We saw a coffee mug tonight. And the coffee mug actually had a cycle that humans create the trash, but then we shoot it off into the sun, which is a dying star, basically giving it fuel to continuously burn forever, therefore keeping us happy, and the cycle goes on. I think there's like 4 or 5 steps to it, and you can just look it up on Google Images. So we are not the first to have this idea, and I'm glad. I want to team up with these other trash rocket people. This is how the internet works. We find the other trash rocket people, we band together, and we create a trash rocket.
I'm a big wrestling fan, and tag team matches were always better. But sometimes they put a 3-person, 4-person. You get into the whole Survivor Series element, whereas 4 against 4. And, the Royal Rumble altogether, just 20 people. I'm all for that, T. Let's partner up. I want a Royal Rumble of trash rockets. And I've seen 3 to 4 very creative designs. And for those who still have not submitted their trash rocket, for fuck's sake, what are you waiting for?
Yeah, let's see your artistic renderings. You can search for the Catch the Sky podcast on those platforms, or you may submit it on Twitter at CTS Terry or at Saif_CTS. Right? That's your technical handle, but also falls under at CTS Saif.
It's on the social media, right? We put it on there for people to find.
Yeah, they can find it. Just want to see what they
Josh
got.
Davidson gave me a follow.
It's like the Rick and Morty episode. Show me what you got.
I want to get Josh in here to tell some trucker stories.
I'd love to hear it.
Stories on the road. That would be good.
We've got some stories on the road
Episode 6, he gets yelled at by conspiracy theorists in a parking lot, and it's insane. I think it's like 15 minutes in. You have to listen to it. I don't know why that's one of our lowest performing episodes.
I think it's because I think you have indicated that people think it's staged or something. And I literally, no. People are just psychotic out there. So if you ever want to just do something out in public, you better be ready for somebody taking an interest to what you're doing. Especially if you're walking around with a microphone and headphones. So this podcast began then, but then we didn't record anything for a really long time. Cuzzy and I actually did an episode, Saif. It's in the archives. I don't know if you know this, but there's an episode that he and I did somewhere deep in the archives. Unreleased.
Are they not allowed to be released?
Not at the moment. Maybe someday. We got a lot of content that's never been released. People don't know that.
We're not creating fake videos like James O'Keefe dressed as a pimp. Okay? That was a real yelling and screaming in a parking lot in Montana. Those people are nuts. Okay.
It was fun. Yeah, it was a good time. And everything that you hear on this show is just real. It's been trimmed down so that we don't sound like idiots in some cases, but aside from that,
you, T.
Yeah, right. Everything else is straight up, unplanned, not scripted. It's real life, bro.
The Catch the Sky podcast is going to blow up. So are you always going to edit, or at any point are you going to relinquish control to the interns?
I don't know. TBD, right? I don't know if I can trust anybody else. That's when it really comes down to. So this show, we've oh my goodness, I don't even know where we go from here. We can get into the ups and downs with our there's the good, bad, and the ugly, but of the show or what, like we've been on some journeys, man.
Should we give them do we want to give them gossip? Do we want to give them smut and juice?
Yeah, where do we start? Yeah. Let's
Phil Dawson? Should we start with Phil Dawson?
I was gonna say, yeah. Let's finish up with some of our interactions before we get on into too much into the show. So since then, since the show started, I came back out, and that was the Phil Dawson game. That was 2017. That was that fall, right?
It was a Jacksonville game. Yeah. He won it. Phil Dawson wins the game for the Arizona Cardinals. Zane Gonzalez would have done the same goddamn thing.
Debatable. But
that's right. He fucked y'all in Cleveland, didn't he?
Safe.
He's an ASU Sun Devil. He's like a child. ASU Sun Devils are like my children. They can do no wrong. Okay, Terrell Suggs.
T-Sizzle.
I misunderstood.
T-Sizzle.
No. Vontez Perfect. Big time misunderstood. That kid, just nobody understands him. That's all. He can do no wrong.
Right.
Just like Lakers fans are with Kobe.
Oh my God. So that's when you were still on the fence about me, and I rolled up to your tailgate. I had some fucking what do we have? Carne asada.
Josh Gordon. You had a Josh Gordon jersey.
I had a Josh Gordon jersey on. I'm running my mouth about Phil fucking Dawson. I'm trying to buy some tickets. That was the other thing.
Online.
The tickets, I'm trying to buy them online, and Ticketmaster wouldn't let me like log in or whatever. Like my order, I was like midway through the order, and it like timed out. It like fucked up. So my order was just out there in the ether, floating somewhere. And I'm waiting for confirmation, and it's like 40 minutes till kickoff. Looking at me like, God damn it, why did I bring this motherfucker?
Your strategy is sound, though. You buy right before you go into the gate. I've often, and again, this is going to become increasingly difficult in a cashless world. but where you go in and you're able to bargain with someone for a physical ticket, right? Because now everything's a scan and a photo.
Yeah, you barter with the
Also,
gypsy.
that's how you know. And even then, obviously, there's fraudulent activity, but you're dealing with a different type of. You said gypsy. You
that's from
bargaining with a gypsy.
That's from Always Sunny.
These people are gypsies. You just bargain with them.
Yeah, right.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
Is it acceptable? I mean, it was tangent here, but gypsies is because that's a European slur, right? You're making fun of Italians. They're considered white, so it's harmless, right? It's not like we're picking on Korean women. It's not like we're picking on Africans portrayed on Mulberry Street. Yeah. Tangent though, obviously. Get us back on track, T.
Well, I'm talking about bartering with gypsies. I don't know how on track that is, but so that was 2017, and then 2018. Yeah, you came out here, and that is when we did our whole Cleveland thing. You kicked it here. We went to Presque Isle. We had fun down there, and then 2019.
The goal is to return, by the way.
Yes. 2019. Did we do anything?
I want to say late 2019?
Yes.
December 2019.
What did we do then?
I dropped the Bills from my fantasy football team, and they got scooped up and proceeded to beat your team out of the ship.
Yeah, what the hell was I doing out there? Was I just fucking around?
You didn't even watch the Browns game. Like, you literally did not watch the Browns game. You wore your Baker Mayfield jersey. We went to the Grand Canyon. I had to bring Zach his shoes because he forgot them.
Ah, yes, that was that excursion. That was okay. Yes. Oh my goodness.
And that's when Cuzzy saddled another cousin on me, which is like your uncle or something.
Oh yes.
He was half broken physically, but I convinced him that the massage that he was going to get was going to, wow, it's such an inappropriate joke now.
Right.
Damn it, Atlanta.
But yeah, that was that trip. So that was the first time I ever saw the Grand Canyon.
Cried.
Who did? I didn't.
The other Cuzzy, the new Cuzzy, the broken Cuzzy. He's same age, isn't he? Same age, but physically he's just... Oy.
Yep.
Poor bastard.
Not on the same level. But
No,
that's where
not
we...
physically, not strong.
Yeah, correct. We... Oh, God, if you ever listen to this. We took some great photos out at the Grand Canyon. I remember taking that one, and it looks like an album cover.
You're doing the heart symbol with your hand?
No. I'm talking the one that I took of the four of you, looking out over the cliff.
Oh, yeah. We're all meditating.
Mm-hmm.
We were high as a fucking kite.
And then, yeah, right? And then Zach took that picture of me out on the ledge, like way out on that ledge. And based on your previous statement, I probably shouldn't have been out there.
And y'all wanted to go down, and I was so nervous, and I was like, fuck, one of these kids is gonna slip. I'm just like, please don't slip, because that's how people die in the canyon. They slip off the edge, and it was snowy and it was slippery.
I was ready, Saif. I'm gonna go.
December.
I'm going.
2019. People die in the Grand Canyon all the time. Like, it happens so often.
So, yeah, that was 2019. And then, Jesus Christ. Last year was like the Renaissance.
You were motivated by that trip to Colorado.
It wasn't just a trip to Colorado. It was a trip to everywhere. I came through this country last year like a raging bull and blasted into Moab, Utah on my way back from the Pacific Northwest to meet up with you. And since then, we have been blazing a trail across the internet and this country. And the world. We're worldwide, baby.
We are worldwide. Hold on. I got to see this. I want to shout them all out. So what it is we're on Anchor. Anchor has analytics. Analytics tells us, who our listeners are and age, what platform they're on, so on and so forth. United States makes up the majority of our audience. USA. United Arab Emirates. United Arab Emirates. You know who you are, baby boy. UAE. What up, Scott? Save those voice notes, bro. Those are going to be worth money someday. Ireland. We're in Ireland. Russia. United Kingdom.
Putin's got to have somebody listening to us.
Romania. Germany. Deutschland. Costa Rica. Thank you, sis. Iceland. You can travel there as long as you have a vaccination record. Just an FYI. Brazil. La 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 la. Taiwan. So here's the thing. I think we have an audience in China, but I don't think we're allowed to have analytics from China. So we have Taiwan and Mongolia and India, but I'm a little iffy about that. Italy, Italiano. The Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan.
Do anybody else?
South Africa. Oh, Canada. Canada, don't you know?
That's a Canadian
Filipinos.
accent.
Filipinos also love us.
Not sure if that's a Canadian accent.
Japan.
I really feel like you're just winging it at this point.
Oh, those are legit accents.
I live next door to Canada, and I don't think that's how they sound. But go on.
It's like Northern Dakota. You gotta, take off, strange.
So
brew,
you've suggested. So you've suggested before that I have some sort of. Jesus Christ! I think I'm gonna puke fucking Shamrock Shake all over this microphone. Oh my God. Whoa. Jesus Christ.
Don't stop recording.
Oh my God. I was afraid it was just going to spill through the filter and like go all onto the into the microphone. Oh, that was those disgusting.
Burps are not appreciated. So uncouth, T. Come on, have a little class.
No, so that's one of the things here on the Catch the Sky podcast that changes from week to week. 1 week we're classy, 1 week we're trashy. So our latest endeavor has been business cards. And we have, yeah. So we picked out a design. Saif got a great local vendor. Shout out to Randy over at Allen Printing. And we go over some designs that we like. We establish ones that we like. And
we get some feedback.
Yeah. And we tweak the designs and again establish one that we like, and the wrong one of the rough draft ones gets sent in, and we get 1,000 business cards printed off that way. So me trying to be more concerned for the long term, trying to manage.
Trying to be manager.
And trying to manage and thinking of the long term.
Somehow he manages.
And thinking that this is not the professional front that we discussed and established that we wanted to present with these things. And so rode Saif's poor ass for a week about fucking business cards or two. And then ordered. I was
going to say it's longer than that.
And we ordered 1,000 more with the aforementioned design. And so now we have fucking 2,000 business cards, more business cards than we're ever going to need for this fucking show. And
currently available at the Black Sheep.
Yeah. Ooh, there you go. I still got to start getting mine handed out to some of these local vendors here.
There's some great little coffee shops in Erie, Pennsylvania.
They are
Erie,
going
Pennsylvania,
to take
by the
it
way, people,
and throw it in the trash.
Great summer. They have a freshwater beach.
Presque Isle.
Freshwater beach. I hate to say it because it's like, it's a secret. You know what I mean? Like, people aren't traveling, so it's not it's not Miami where they've put in a curfew just because they're afraid of black people.
But the water here
break,
isn't necessarily
2021.
clean. So
They have flags that determine, what kind of sludge is tossed.
right. It's like fucking
What kind
Christ.
of nuclear refuse.
Yeah.
It's like green flag means it's good, and so on.
Yeah, green means go. Jesus Christ. So there's a lot of things that go into this show. And so on a weekly basis, Saif will convene with me, usually on Tuesday nights, and we will go ahead and record for the following week. So we will record essentially 10 days in advance of when an episode airs. That way it gives us enough time to edit. Well, it gives me enough time to edit. Upload these
Checkers
things.
versus chess, people.
Right. Upload
Stay
it
one move ahead.
for Saif to listen to, and we'll usually bounce some ideas and notes off of each other as far as the title goes. And then I type up the notes.
Which I haven't done in a long time.
Right. Yeah. I type up the notes.
I haven't named an episode since.
I've been bouncing ideas off of you.
Go back in the vault.
Yeah. I ask you every week, don't I? I think there's only been 1 week that I have not asked you. There's 1 week.
Hand jobs and applesauce. Hand jobs and applesauce was my favorite.
Well, yes, of course. I think Do You Hear What I Hear was the only one that I just did, and that's because I had a super late night. We were up against a deadline, and that's the other thing too. We're just two people doing a podcast. We're working, we've got our own lives, and sometimes this shit that you hear literally doesn't get done until just hours beforehand, and then gets turned around and cranked out on the internet. And then sometimes we're not even sticking to our own schedules that we set for ourselves. So there's a time difference between us, and sometimes Taco Tuesday happens and you drink a pitcher of margaritas and you sleep an hour past your recorded deadline. So after you spent the previous 2 weeks writing somebody about being a professional on business cards, you can't even show up to the scheduled recording time for your fucking podcast. Good thing nobody's charging us by the hour to do this shit.
Sweet Tea gets canceled. I think that was the last one I even had any otherwise. And even prior to that, I think you were naming most of the episodes.
Well, yeah.
We're watching, literally the audience is watching you grow from episode 1 on, right?
Mm-hmm. I hope they see growth. I don't know. They might look at it and just be like, this train wreck is not stopping anytime soon. How many cars are in this fucking train? Why is it not stopped? What you had input in the last title.
Well, you always ask me. I'm usually just kind of disconnected though from. It helps if I listen to it.
Yes, but I vividly remember episode 44.
What do you want to name this? What do you want to name this one? The origin story, right? I feel like the good, the bad, the ugly.
Nothing is readily coming to mind.
Tea brings home the Yuengling.
That's true. So every time I come down to visit you, I try to pack Yuengling in my suitcase.
Very thoughtful.
Yes.
The one year you brought 2 cases. I almost gave a case to my buddy Manny. Like I almost showed up at his daughter's 16th bar mitzvah or whatever the hell they were throwing, or quinceañera or something. But it was like, because he's not really Mexican, and his brother's 1% Saudi. He's Saudi.
1%. How does that work?
Read it and weep. I'm Saudi.
I'm 3/15 Cherokee.
I was going to give him a case. You guys talked me off the ledge. Oh, Jesus. I just came and I showed up. I think I gave him 3 beers and I said, see you later.
You said, I have a whole case of this back in my place, but I'm not sharing it all with you.
Well, the second time you brought it, my cousin from Houston, he was trying to drink it all, and I had to step him aside. Son, Those aren't for you. Those are for Manny. Okay. Drink some of this other swill over here.
Right. Yeah, I got to make it up to Manny for the fucking bar mitzvah / quinceañera.
Yeah, it was like his daughter's 16th birthday, but it's not a quinceañera technically, but they're Mexican, obviously, because he's Manny. Or he's Spanish. Like we've never actually known what he is.
Well, that was the debate with you for a while. Because Zach would always ask me, he's like, where's they from? And I'm like, the Middle East.
Fucking I'm from Compton. No, I'm from Northwest Phoenix. 33rd Avenue in Michigan is where I grew up. And I went to Sunrise Elementary School.
But that's not where you were born.
No, I was born here, but I'm Egyptian. Physically, like when you look at me, I'm an Egyptian boy. But I also have some Yemeni in me. I'm actually Hashmite. Hashmite. I am in direct line with the Prophet Muhammad. Genetically.
Look at you.
True story.
Wow.
True story. I'm a prophet.
Well, here you are, spitting fire across the airwaves.
Dylan. I spit hot fire.
So there's a lot of content that we've created, and there's a lot of content that's never been released. And I mean, that's just due to sound quality, just maybe sometimes the narratives that we end up spinning in those episodes aren't stuff that we agree with, or just doesn't sound good, doesn't flow. And there's been a lot of double takes, triple takes. We've had guests come back for double takes. I mean, we're working here. We're working, and that's part of what I've tried to emphasize to my co-hosts here at times is that we got to take this as seriously as a job. So when I wake up an hour after our scheduled recording time to my phone vibrating under my ass, and I open it up and see that there's texts that say I can't show up an hour late for work. What the fuck is this? The man's got a point. The man's got a fucking point.
You know what's funny though? Do you save all our texts?
They're just there. I mean, it just goes back infinitely.
So I went all the way back tonight, T. I went all the way back and just kind of like watched that trip in December of 2019 take shape. Right? That's how I remembered Zach's shoes, by the way. And I was just going through all these and the fantasy football texts, right? And all this stuff's happening.
Oh my. I'm just thinking of just
and
like how many texts.
You're like, hey, are you available? And I'm like, I'm busy. I got 2 jobs. Fuck. From day 1, T. From episode 2 on. Facts. Look at the text. Oh my God, I've been screaming since day 1. I am a prima donna.
You're over here.
I am not easy to work with, people.
Oh yeah.
Star.
I
need a jar of green M&Ms. The moon has to be in proper alignment. And the dog can't be fucking snoring like a goddamn chainsaw.
Yeah, and then you've got and then you've got me, the other side of the odd couple that just moves at his own pace, but then demands perfection out of everything. And I'm fucking moving with the wind over here, but then I demand that everything be perfect.
There's a lot of preparation that involves soda and roasting a bone.
Yes, I roast lots of bones and I punish my kidneys. It's a miracle I haven't had a kidney stone, honestly. For the amount of pop I drink, everybody that's had a kidney stone tells me that, you know, the type of stuff that you ingest liquid-wise, you know, if it's a lot of sugary stuff, that's a good way to get one. And you've seen me, Saif. You've seen it in action. I mean, I kill 2 liters.
He goes for Mountain Dew products, and it has to be fountain soda. And there's so much ice, and he gets the big styrofoam cup that fits in the console. It's like 44 ounces.
Oh God, Goji citrus strawberry or Code Red.
He has to have that. Like it's that's what has to.
I need it pumping
how you know
through
the
my
magic
veins.
is.
Yeah, I need it literally coursing through my. I can feel. It's like when I just sip on that fucking drink. No straw. I almost said sip on that straw, but strawless summer. It's been going strong since 2018, and it's just like you sip on it, and
We gotta get
it's
you your
like
own
this.
straw, like you get plastic straw. Or
Yeah, I need a
stainless
metal
steel
straw.
straws.
Well, I went to the dollar store the other day to see if they had them, but they didn't have metal straws there, so I'm gonna have to go to somewhere that charges more than $1.
You have to pay big.
Apparently, yeah.
Go to that Whole Foods in Erie, Pennsylvania.
The co-op,
It's co-op.
the Whole Foods co-op, small business of the week.
Fuck, they had some great peaches there.
So if
Or
you
cherries, no, plums. Oh, the plums up there in the north.
next time you come up here and you stay with me, if you decide that you want to go rogue and walk down to this place, it's going to be a much shorter walk than your previous visit when you walked from Cuzzy's place. I think it's only like a mile from my place. Maybe 2.
I was looking at the dates. Do you want to? I mean, you to talk dates.
What else do you got?
What
What other significant dates
So,
in the archive do you have?
The Presque thing. When is the last weekend for Presque?
What do you mean?
Do we know? Do we know when the park closes? The state park is closed on it's usually second or third week of August.
It's open all year round, man.
Yeah, but it's like the last time you can reserve and swim.
Oh, yeah. It's towards the end of this summer season. You might be able to do it up until Labor Day, honestly. I'm not positive. I never do any of the reserving. That's all Cuzzy's responsibility. I just show up. I'm here for a good time, Saif.
Reservation.
And a summer bash.
There's a system. He explained it to me.
Well, I don't know. He's never explained it to me. He just tells me to show up, and I'm prompt for that, Saif. I might be late for our recording sessions, but I show up for beach day.
If it's probably best, and we'll see. I'm honestly that first week of August or second week, is probably if the Presque thing is available. But I feel like that's the best weather.
I just love that you call it like Presque and you like just deliberately refer to it in such a confusing way that people from here are just like, what the fuck is that dude talking about? It would be as if I was referring to Camelback Mountain as like camel or just Hump Mountain or something like that. Like, yeah, or Camel Mountain. Yeah.
You've corrected me on this a number of times. For whatever reason, I say it.
I love it.
In the way I say it. But it's okay.
Presque Isle.
This is native country, and it's named after is that a native word or is it a French word?
French.
From some of the battles that have occurred there.
Well,
so I say it in a French accent.
Presque Isle is
Presque.
French for almost an island.
Presque.
And honestly, if they didn't maintain it the way that they do, it probably would be an island already. And it will be an island eventually. I don't know how long they can keep this up.
It's a global warming diatribe?
No, it's just you look at any shoreline, any natural shoreline, and if there's an arm or extension of land that just juts unnaturally out into any body of water like that constantly has a tide moving in and out, what's going to happen to it?
It's going to get rolled over.
Eventually, yeah, exactly. It's just nature, baby.
Yeah. So we got to use this thing before we lose this thing.
Right.
Each winter, the storm comes in and just demolishes it.
Yep. And then President Trump sends us some sand, and then everything's good again. Oh, no, wait, that didn't happen. But speaking of using it before you lose it, last year we got together, and a lot of it is recorded on this podcast, but not all of it. we met up in Moab, and we didn't do any recording there because I was too busy using it before I lose it. And then after that, we burned a trail across Utah, southern Utah specifically, northern Arizona, dipping in and out. We saw all sorts of different things. I mean, we could go ahead and list off every single stop we made, but Jesus Christ, we saw some stuff.
I think 3 major national parks. I think the Canyonlands National Park.
Mexican Hat. We saw a subway.
Natural Bridges National Monument, and then Hope and Weep. And all of that right in there.
Canyon of the Gods. What's that considered?
It's Utah. But it's near Blanding, and it's kind of, yeah.
Ooh, Blanding, Patio Diner, and the aforementioned
That's
subway.
Right.
Forrest Gump.
Yeah, the Forrest Gump photo.
What's
Monument Valley.
Yes. Isn't that a national
Highway
monument?
191. Yeah, State Route 191, traveling south through Utah or north. It's actually quite dangerous because there's everybody stopping for the fucking Forrest Gump photo, and some people are dressed like Forrest Gump or characters, whatever, and they're doing their thing, and
It's out on the fucking street.
it's a 50-mile, 60-mile-an-hour thing, and
You gotta slow
people on
down.
the side.
Yeah, there's a bunch of we were talking about gypsies earlier. There's gypsies all over the place, fucking selling jewelry and shit.
Yeah, I don't know if you can call them gypsies, T.
It's until, or are we canceling the Hunchback of Notre Dame now? Safe? Is that what you're doing here on the Catch the Sky podcast? Because I've heard no claims as of yet.
Nobody listens to this though. Anti-Social Network didn't even have words.
Well, I didn't know that so let me back it up. My understanding of we're bartering with the gypsies. These are just people that just live. They're people of the road. They just live openly. They get by like roadies. They're fucking, I don't know. I think roadies are similar. That follow a band around and fucking set up. They get by and with the means that are available to them. Sometimes they got to sell crafts. Sometimes they got to sell music. Sometimes they got to sell themselves, whatever.
Holy shit, I totally let our listeners off. I said 191. It's actually 163.
You're going to send them down some other fucking route.
Turn around. Turn around. You're going the wrong way. What the fuck are you talking about, T? Stop insulting. You just related gypsies to natives is what you did. Don't deny it.
Well, they do this, but no. They also do this but like I said, in the Always Sunny episode, they stop by the is it the Italian market?
The Italian market, gypsies.
Right. But then you go ahead and if we look at the Hunchback of Notre Dame, that is very clearly not Italy. That is France. So they have gypsies in France. They have gypsies in Italy. They have gypsies everywhere. That's what I'm saying. That's my whole point. Gypsies
is considered to be offensive.
But this is where I'm not aware of this. Since when is gypsies offensive? I'm a gypsy.
It's a demeaning derogatory term to a type of cultural, like I said, this cultural icon that you're talking about that's been portrayed through children's cartoons, right?
Well, yeah, that's like I could be considered a gypsy for the way that I live and my
Stevie
vagabond.
Nicks has a great song,
right?
Fleetwood Mac, Gypsy.
Well, our girl Lady Gaga, she's got a song as well. That one smacks. You should go ahead and listen to Gypsy after this.
People don't like the word gypsy. I'm just saying, it's just.
I'm a gypsy. I'm a gypsy.
It's a thing. I'm not personally offended by it, but I know that, my massage parlor jokes only further contribute to stereotypes against Asian Americans. That's not fair.
Well, this is where I don't think I can't
just keep making jokes at other people's expense.
So this is where
I get a kick out of demeaning a group of people.
Right. No, I agree with you. And I don't think and I mean absolutely no offense, because in my perspective, I admire gypsies. It's gypsies to me almost seem like modern day hippies, essentially.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Modern day hippie. Yeah, no, I get it.
So that's like, to me, like that's the comparison. I don't look at it as a negative stereotype whatsoever. I understand why people give them this negative stereotype just for living such a, like I said, maybe vagabond lifestyle, whatever, however you want to refer to it. But there shouldn't be. At least, so what? We have to come up with another name that they're going to find offensive in 50 fucking years? Like what? For people that, van life. That's what I think of as gypsies.
I struggle with this too. But it definitely doesn't feel right when all Arabs are terrorists, all Asian women are prostitutes, and all homeless people are gypsies. It's the demeaning of the other. Like, that's the thing.
Oh my God.
There has to be a better way to make comedy.
Right.
There has to be a better way to make jokes, not at the expense of the other, right? Then that's really...
Oh my God.
Underline. Nobody likes bullying. And bullying takes on this form when you start to degrade other people.
Right.
And where it gets troubling is when people then...
The Italian market.
Generalize about a group of people and then call for their extermination.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, yes. I believe
that's what we don't want.
There's an element of European history that results in the genocide of people associated with this label.
Yes. So there is, when you get into this. Yes. So when you get into the historical context in that regard, absolutely. And so I appreciate you highlighting that and getting that research out there for our listeners. So and that might actually be highlighted. See, I'm sitting here referring to The Hunchback of Notre Dame, but it's been a while since I've watched that movie. I believe his love interest in the movie, I know she is a gypsy, but correct me if I'm wrong, she's being pursued throughout the movie, usually by the police or guardsmen or whatever. She's not seen as somebody that's viewed favorably in the public eye, so to speak.
What's crazy is I've actually been to the cathedral of Notre Dame.
I've been there twice.
In France? Yeah, Paris?
Mm-hmm.
Our bus got a parking ticket.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ooh. Fun fact.
The
first time that I was ever there, I was 8, I believe. I think it was Mother's Day. 2000, or no, not 2000. It was 1999.
Mm-hmm.
And my parents made me keep like a little journal while we were there in France. So I have the journal entry. It is dated. And a girl that I ended up being briefly intertwined with in this part of the country. She's not from my city. She lives about an hour and a half away. And she was at the Cathedral of Notre Dame on that same day. So I did not meet this woman until maybe 2015, 2016, 2017, somewhere in there. And unbeknownst to us, 20 years prior to that, we were in the same building on the same day in a different country.
Whoa.
The odds of that are pretty low. I know that there's billions of people out there and there's endless possibilities, but you gotta think, being in the same building on the same day 20 years prior and then running into somebody and then having an extended relationship with them, and then having that come up and connecting that and putting the dots all together is insane. She has a photograph of her visit that day, and photos from back then were all time stamped. So the dates line up. Pretty wild. She doesn't talk to me anymore. as is the case with most prior lovers. So, oh, Jesus Christ. It would surprise me if the woman of Moab still listens to any of this garbage.
The feedback I did obtain was she loves your free spirit, your free ways.
And my huge
Free
cock.
love on the free love freeway. When love is free and the freeway's long. I got some hot love on the hot love highway.
Wasn't that part of the feedback as well? It's the free spirit, but it's also the. And I'm not saying this to pat myself on the back on the air, but I'm just. Was that not part of the feedback? Because
the sex feedback.
Yes.
I got to tell you, I made a run at her in the kitchen. And I never told you this. I'm going to tell you right now, though. I gave it a shot. I was like,
After I hooked up with her?
Yeah. Before I slept and before I passed out on the bed out there in the backyard.
But I'd already hooked up with her prior to that. How'd you think that was going to work?
The same way it does in the movies?
You thought we were just going to couple swap for without calling your shot? You thought you could just go and just do it?
I am still 100% positive. Had I not gone to Arches and stayed around while you
worked my magic,
allowed Frank, had you not shown up, had we waited a day.
Oh yeah, things could have been totally different.
I truly believed it was right there. I sensed it. I was like, holy shit, I'm vibing right now. I'm going to go to Arches. T, stay here.
Mm-hmm.
You're not allowed in the house.
She almost caught the scent of a lesser stag in her nostrils.
She hopped on you instead. So I took a run at it in the kitchen. She said no, just an FYI.
Well, I'm not surprised because, that explains a lot, Saif. That explains a lot. Because if you recall, not shortly after that, I walked into the kitchen and I was simply trying to pour myself a drink or something like that. And she essentially grabbed me and things were getting hot and heavy there right in the kitchen. Essentially in front of you, if I recall, and you stepped out. Or you may have entered the kitchen at one point and we didn't stop. Your presence was not facing anybody, and I think that was on purpose. It now makes so much more sense because I was like, we're just getting after it right in front of Saif here, and she seems to be not giving a fuck. She seems pissed about it, and I was like, I'm fine with it. She's just hard. She's just into this right now, and I'm feeling it. Saif can watch if he wants. I don't give a fuck. We're going to town right here in the kitchen. And now it all makes sense. It all makes.
I should have had the door closed. Keep it cracked or something.
I think it probably was. I think it was cracked. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck you were doing.
No, I
out there.
checked.
God damn, you're such a bastard. Oh my God, you fucking little.
Hey,
you're like a kid. I can't take you anywhere.
I like to watch.
Well, this is, and so that explains
me.
it. That explains why she came so hard at me. It was in spite of you. So thank you, Saif. So maybe I should thank you. Your consistent fucking misbehavior is only making my behavior look better. You're a fantastic wingman. All I have to do is just stand by and wait for you to fuck up. And then it just makes me look great. All I have to do is go somewhere and wait for you to walk up to a girl and be like, hey, you want to go 50-50 on a date somewhere? Have her smack you across the face, and then I'll walk up and be like, hey, that guy bothering you? Let me buy you a drink. Works every time. Works every fucking time.
We get smacked around.
Yeah, I don't know if you're just, a masochist or what, but you seem to enjoy it. You seem to enjoy being punished.
I don't mind trying. Like I have nothing to lose, right? Like,
neither do I, but it just seems like
so
you.
I asked the question. Like
It seems like you crash and burn so easily that all I have to do is
but
just
it's
stand
magic,
there.
T. When they say yes, it's like magic.
Yeah, but think about it. For
And
me, it's like
yes.
it's not magic because all I have to do is just stand by and wait for you to just do what you naturally do.
If you want the sale, you have to ask.
Oh my
You have
God!
to
Yeah,
ask
but,
the customer.
well, yeah, for
Would
me,
you like to purchase this item? They will either say yes or no.
yeah, for me, I just have to.
And the worst thing they can say is no.
And one could
I'm not
argue.
I'm not the prettiest boy in the room. I ain't the prom king. I'm definitely not the homecoming king either.
So this is why, yeah, you make me look like the prom king.
I got a voice that purrs like a fucking kitten. I got a mind that flexes.
Then that's why we brought you on the show. That is why you've been here for this journey. Is because
you've given me so much more.
Well, how so?
Imposter syndrome.
Huh.
And actually my sister was helping me do some self-actualization today. And the trauma that people endure help and shape their beliefs, attitudes, and values. So a lot of this and your ability as a human to overcome adversity is we're a resilient species as human beings. We really are.
Mm-hmm.
But we're hammering in on psychological research more so than ever in history, right? Think about this.
Our
Like 50
episode
years
last
ago.
week was mental health.
Right. And lobotomies. Like this was a normal thing where we would put metal in someone's head.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
So we're still learning about ourselves and who we are. But what I think is interesting is I think that the environment matters. And if you're in the right type of environment, you can thrive and do anything. And ultimately, sometimes you have to create. Billy Zane, right? Create your own luck.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to put yourself in that environment. And I think what you're doing is you're a big fish in a small pond there in Erie, Pennsylvania.
I think that way sometimes.
Yeah. And you're trying to change that environment. And so ultimately, my environment, there were different paths and routes that I took along the way. And the environment that I fostered and created put me in some poor decision-making opportunities and also some good ones. And I was glad I held on to Cuzzy all these years. And I'm glad that he brought you into my life. I really am.
Well, yeah,
I truly
likewise.
believe all of this happens for a reason, right? And so this is what this really has done is just has created an awakening.
Oh, yeah. I told you. I had my Oprah moment. Taking Frank across the country. That was it. Things are different now. And they're going to stay that way. So if you care to keep up with what's next, be sure to follow us on Instagram or Facebook by searching for the Catch the Sky podcast, or on Twitter at CTS Terry or at CTS Saif. And until our next episode, which will air on Friday, keep trying to catch the sky.